We've all had days like this before. Usually, they happen when we're not taking care of ourselves. Sometimes they can even happen at the strangest moments. Have you ever been to a concert surrounded by people, music playing, people dancing, but all you could feel was this heavy weight in your chest? I have always loved concerts. No matter what the artist was, it was always enjoyable. Whether it be with friends or family, it was always an adventure. So, I remember early September 2024, I was at a concert. It was electric, but as much as I tried, I could not enjoy the moment. So, that was me throughout July, August, and September 2024. And this is the time where I was taking care of my grandmother. It was a time that taught me how crucial self-care is and how easy it is to lose sight of our own well-being. Growing up, I was very close with my grandmother. She made sure I was always taken care of. Not only did she give me the amazing food and never let me go home hungry, but she always made sure I knew how to take care of myself. She made sure that I knew that taking care of myself wasn't just eating right. It was about feeling seen, supported, and valued. So, after she basically raised me, I knew I would have to be there for her in the exact same way. And let me tell you, I was nowhere near her level of caregiving, but I did my best. And no matter what I did, I could not feel normal. During that time, I constantly felt empty. There was no other way to describe it. As much as I tried to act normal, there was always this feeling of tired and emptiness. And the more I tried to act normal, the more tired and empty I became. I thought I could do these things and just try to be myself. I tried doing things I loved, like going to the mall with my friends, watching a hockey game, or even just watching a movie. But all of these things felt impossible. Everything was clouded by this weight, this overwhelming weight. And eventually, it would spill out in unexpected ways. I'd lash out at people who were just trying to talk to me, or even help me. I hated it. I didn't know how to manage it. I thought I would by acting normal. But it wasn't until later that I realized stress takes over your entire body. It doesn't just live in your mind. The more you bottle it up, the harder it is to focus on anything. It's like a disease that spreads until you're completely burnt out. A study done in October 2024 at the University of Toronto shows that in the past 12 months, 69% of Canadians have experienced symptoms that can develop into burnout. What burnout is basically the worst version of stress ever. You're always tired, have big headaches, and easily get sick. Which brings me to the topic of self-care. What is self-care? I'm sure we've all heard of it before, but what is the actual definition of it? When I think of self-care, I think of face masks, bubble baths, and spa days, right? And sure, those things are nice, but they're only part of it. Self-care is much deeper. It's about taking the time to reconnect with yourself. I used to think self-care was simple. It was simply laughing with my friends at lunch, watching a Canucks game, or even watching an episode of Friends. But as much as these little things are important, they're not always enough to heal what's going on beneath the surface. The thing is, self-care is about giving yourself the space and time to recharge and process your emotion. Sure, watching a Canucks game can be fun, and sure, laughing with friends is a relief. But it's not always enough. It's part of a bigger picture. It's about slowing down, checking in on yourself, just asking, hey, how am I really doing today? And don't pretend everything is fine. Talking to friends was something I started doing more as I realized how well it helped me become the person I am today. At first, I thought I had to keep everything to myself. I couldn't let anyone know I was struggling. That wasn't until I realized venting is one of the best things you can ever do for yourself. When I started venting to my friends, I didn't expect solutions. Honestly, they were just getting an earful. But I just needed to say these thoughts out loud. I needed to release the pressure before I exploded. Acting like everything was fine and keeping everything was normal was taking over me as a person. The stress was consuming me. The weight was consuming me. When my grandmother passed, I was devastated. The person who always took care of me was gone. The person who always made sure I was okay was gone. That's when I realized she had taught me more about self-care than anyone else. She taught me that I needed to feel seen, supported, and valued, and now I needed to remember to do that for myself. Her love and care showed me how powerful it is to take the time to nurture your own well-being. And although I can't lean on her the way I did before, I began to understand you cannot ignore your emotions. Now, let's make this very clear. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. Take a second and think of yourself as a phone. Every day, you use all your energy to connect with the world. You respond to messages, take calls, respond to emails. But eventually, that battery starts to run low. It gets slow. It doesn't work as well. So, just like phones need to be charged, we need to recharge to keep functioning at our best. Ask yourself, when was the last time you took some time for yourself? Not for anyone else, just because you needed it. It's so easy to push that aside. Tell us we don't need to do that. It's selfish. But in reality, self-care is the foundation for everything you do. So I encourage you, start small. Take 5 minutes per day just to check in on yourself. Ask yourself, hey, how am I doing? Go for a walk with a friend. Take a deep breath and just let go of that tension you've been holding on to. It's not about making big changes overnight, but it's about building a practice where your well-being is just as important as everything else. At the end of the day, we can't be there for the ones we love if you're not there for yourself. You deserve to feel balanced, to feel whole, to feel heard. I'm going to leave you with this thought. Self-care isn't just a trend or something we do for fun. It's a vital part of maintaining our emotional and mental well-being. Like I was saying before, you can be at a Future and Metro concert and you still have that feeling in your chest. And that is your sign you need to step back. That is your sign you need to figure out what's going on the inside. By taking care of ourselves, we can have more days like these instead of days like those. Thank you.